Came at Mushpot Cave at Lava Beds. This is the first cave closest to the visitor center that's open year round. Lava Brook and the other one, Labyrinth, are closed right now for the winter. Here's a little information thing about the volcano. 32,000-year-old Lake Shield volcano. Notice there's stairs going down. They have a gate, but it's open. If it's closed, then it says cave closed, hazardous conditions. This one's officially open year round. I think they'd only close this if it was like really icy or something. Notice the moss here. It's pretty dry here. I don't think we're at desert because there are, trees and stuff. It's pretty dry. Notice all the pretty colors. Lichen. Notice up here by the entrance, there's another hole in the ground. It might be a cave, but it's too small for people. Wildlife probably likes it though. Here's a sign about moss. Moist cushion. Huh. Interesting. Here's a cool little way over here. Notice the green is stuff growing. Natural light getting in. Over there, that hole, that's the Mushpot. That's how this sign got its name. Here's a sign about the entrance zone. Here's a sign about being safe. Most of it's, watch where you're going, no pets. And even though there's lighting installed, you should bring a flashlight. Durr. Notice the ceiling, how rough it is. Notice over here, it's smooth on the bottom and rougher at the top. Very uneven. Weird. Look at all these things growing. They're like plants sprouting or something. Interesting. So notice they put a trail through this cave. Concrete. Other than that, it's natural. Notice they have artificial lighting installed too. It's a very good beginner's cave. If somehow you managed to come here but you forgot your flashlight, this would be a good place to start. But then again, if you forgot your flashlight, I would say go back and buy one somewhere. Rent one. Here's a thing about lava tubes. Notice over here, floor is a bit uneven. There's the motion sensor. The lights are not on 24 hours a day. When they detect motion in here, the lights stay on for about 20 minutes. So you want to do something really funny, walk past this thing to trigger the lights, and then hold still for a long time, let the lights go out on you. Or you could just go to a cave with no lighting. Whatever. I have a flashlight with me, so it's not like I'm getting myself stuck in here. This yellow means to watch the ceiling because the ceiling's low. It's about 5.5 feet tall, so most adults have to crouch down. Notice they have the lighting a bit uneven to make it pretty. There's the trail ahead. There's a side passage over here. Here's another sign. We were at the entrance zone. Now we're at the twilight zone. Notice the floor over here on the left is smooth and then rough on the right. So it's common for caves to be uneven like that. Here's another sign about tube texture. Ropey, cauliflower, or clinker. Yeah, definitely wear shoes in here. So there's a side passage here. The floor is about a bit uneven. The hard part is just not tripping. Hang on. My gimbal is being weird. I don't know if the camera's or the gimbal is showing it very well, but you notice how ceiling part of it's gray, but part of it's kind of red. That's natural too. It just depends on what kind of elements and compounds are in the rock. The rock itself is basically silicon dioxide, silicon and oxygen. But there's going to be all sorts of other stuff in it too. Notice there's a pillar ahead. You can go left or you can go right. Of course, the trail's to the right, so that's where I'll be going. Hold on. Here's another sign. This one's about breakdown. Yeah. ISO 6400 by now. I'm going to go through here once with a light and without a light, just to compare how it comes out. Lighting is really important. So look at this. I'm going to pan down. So you see here's the trail to the left, obviously. They got some lighting installed. The floor is very rough on the right. And then on the left, it's a bit uneven. It's kind of ropey on the left and then cauliflower to the right. Watch the ceiling. The ceiling's a bit vicious around here. It'll get you. Notice besides lights here, they also have handrails installed to help you stay on the trail. Okay, here's an auditorium type place. See, there's an upper level there. Upper level over there. The trail keeps going. There's sort of bleachers here on the left. They have it kind of chained off for no apparent reason. But sometimes they have, like meetings here. Or not meetings, guided tours. They have people sit down and talk about what's going on. So there's an upper level up there. I've never been up there. It doesn't go very far, so there's no point. I've seen a map of this cave, so I know I'm not missing too much by not going up there. And if I found out it was like 20 miles up there, then I'd be like, okay, I'm ready. It's nice and warm in this cave. Well, for one thing, it's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Oops. There we go. Okay, so here's a couple of signs about the dark zone. This is where there's no natural light in the cave because we're too far in. But it talks about the type of life forms you'll find in here. It's not dead. There's no plants growing, but there's could be animals and stuff running around. Notice the floor is rough except where they put in the trail. It's sloping downhill too. Most of the caves in this place, they have a slope from the southwest to the northeast. Notice the uneven lighting or the color. Some spots are dark and some spots are bright. The ceiling is very uneven too. Oh, there's people coming behind me. Thought I heard footsteps. It's a bit of a slope here. Definitely going downhill. And I gotta watch my head because the ceiling is going downhill too. That squeaking is just my shoe. Fascinating. Blistering on the walls here. And here's another sign explaining what pull-offs are. Notice how uneven the ceiling is here. It's getting a lot lower and rougher and trickier. Notice the cave's nice and wide though. Notice the color. It's like brown and gray, all sorts of pretty stuff. Now watch, I'm going to pan up. Before I do that, look at how here the ceiling is very rough on the left. But if I go up here and pan up, notice how the ceiling is much taller. It's kind of rough but smooth. It's hard to explain. Notice there's an upper level up here to the right, but a little bit too difficult for me to try to get up there. I'm going to pan up even more so you can see the ceiling. Wow. It's just like in the movie Aliens, acid for blood. Okay, there's another sign. This time explaining about lava formations. Notice how they lit it pretty bright on the right side, since we're over here, darker on the left. We are coming to the end of the tourist part of the cave, the trail. They have it really dark back here on purpose. So there's the end of the lower tube. And watch up, I'm going to pan up. There's an upper level up there. Have I been there? Have I done that? Okay. So here we are. Here's how it explains how a multi-level tube forms. Obviously we're in one now, even if the upper level is not that big. But it's there. Okay, here we go. There's one last sign. Talk about, are we at the end of the cave yet? Getting there. Why won't this stupid thing focus? Focus. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so now try to go back. So, notice my camera is level, so the walkway is going up. Let's see if I can pan it up a bit. Does he have a green exit sign in case you get lost? That'd be impressive. I think the reason my shoes are squeaking is because the floor is wet. I'm crouching down pretty low. The ceiling there is like 4 feet tall or less. It's not pretty. All right. Here's Mushpot.